Hello, I'm Laura Marshall.
And I'm Melinda Rose, and this is Light Managed for February 27th, 2013.
On this week's show, an image sensor is totally transparent, silicon nanocrystals make colored LEDs, a holographic imager sees through flames, OSA organizes a week of action, and a new art installation gives a unique spin to an object used every day.
A new imager from Johannes Kepler University is the first flexible and completely transparent display. The imager's design has no electronics or internal components, making it ideal for new imaging technologies, such as a gesture-responsive user interface. The flexible transparent film is doped with fluorescent particles that capture incoming light and channel part of it into an array of sensors on the edge of the film. Some of the re-emitted fluorescent light is scattered out of the imager, but a portion of it travels through the interior of the film to the outer edges, where optical sensor arrays capture the light, similar to how a pinhole camera works. A computer then combines the signals into a grayscale image that is focused on the film's completely transparent surface. The first prototypes have a low resolution because of the limited signal-to-noise ratio of the low-cost photodiodes involved. They are planning better prototypes that cool the photodiodes to achieve higher ratios. The research appeared in Optics Express.
Heavy metal-free, highly efficient LEDs composed of silicon nanocrystals can now emit light in a variety of colors. In a joint project, Karlsruhe Institute of Technology and the University of Toronto developed nanoscale silicon-based LEDs. SiLEDs, made previously, were limited to the visible red and the near-infrared, but the new diodes can now emit multiple colors. By separating the nanoparticles according to size, the team discovered that they can adjust the color of the light emitted. They are now working to further develop the SiLEDs in cooperation with other partners. The findings were reported in Nano Letters.
Firefighters can see through smoke using current IR camera technology, but the image-forming sensors in those systems are overwhelmed by the intense infrared radiation emitted by flames. Now a team in Italy has overcome this problem by creating a lensless infrared digital holography system that is able to cope with this flood of radiation as well as thick smoke, giving emergency responders the ability to see people needing help. They also demonstrated for the first time that a holographic recording of a live person can be made even while the body is moving. The new imaging system widely disperses a beam of infrared laser light throughout a room. The rays pass through largely unhindered, reflecting off of any objects or people in the room, and the information in this reflected light is recorded by a holographic imager. It is then decoded to reveal the objects beyond the smoke and flames. The result is a live 3D movie of the room and its contents. The next step is to develop a portable tripod-based system that houses both the laser source and the IR camera. The team is exploring other life-saving applications such as cardiac beat detection and breath monitoring. The results appear this week in the Optical Society's open access journal, Optics Express.
In other Optical Society news, with across-the-board federal spending cuts known as the sequester set to take effect March 1st, OSA announced this week it will organize a week of action for the scientific community. Under the sequester, many agencies of vital importance to the U.S. optics and photonics industry, such as the National Science Foundation, National Institute of Standards and Technology, and the Department of Energy's Office of Science, stand to face hundreds of millions of dollars in cuts. In his State of the Union address last month, President Obama emphasized the critical role science and technology play in economic growth, such as the fact that every dollar the government invested to map the human genome returned $140 to the economy. OSA is working with other partners in the scientific community to urge Congress to continue to prioritize spending on science and technology, even in the face of challenging budgetary decisions.
The fact that optics and photonics is an enabling technology means it's often invisible. Chris Shen is providing insight into a world that is unseen by transforming the infrared, and therefore invisible to the naked eye, beams inside 625 discarded remote controls to create a low-resolution broadcast of live TV. Here's a look.
And here it is, the greatest advance in television since color television itself. The ultimate in performance and convenience. 7-function remote control color television, so beautiful it enhances any decor. Clean, modern styling, no knobs or gadgets in sight, superb cabinetry, master crafted of the finest woods. But the outstanding feature of this great new color set, the one big feature that sets it apart, is an amazing new wireless wizard electronic remote control.
The freestanding IR light sculpture called Infra is traveling around the UK and can next be seen in Manchester, England.
A quick note that registration is now open for our webinar, Techniques in Biophotonic Imaging. Speakers include Kamani Toussaint of the University of Illinois, Melissa Scala of Vanderbilt, and Ofer Levy of the University of Toronto.
The bioimaging techniques they will discuss include quantitative imaging using second harmonic generation, photothermal OCT, and multimodal optical neural imaging using VCSEL light sources.
Sounds like it's really going to be a great session. You can register by clicking on the webinar ad on the Photonics.com homepage or clicking the link in this video.
Also, at this year's Photonics West and SPIE Bio shows, we spoke with many of our viewers about a question we all seem to face in this industry.
Yes, I'm sure everyone watching and everyone here has had the experience of trying to explain your work or area of expertise to someone who's not in the industry. Often just the mere mention of the word photonics is enough to get someone to give you a completely blank look.
So we put that question to people at the show. How do you explain what you do? And of course, we got some fascinating responses and great insights into the kind of work you're doing out there, including some fascinating work in biophotonics. So beginning this week at the end of the show, we'll bring you some of those conversations.
Well, that's it for this edition of Light Matters, Photonics Media's weekly newscast.
As always, you can write to us with your questions or comments at lightmatters@photonics.com. And to our viewers on YouTube, we're very sorry about the brief hiatus we took when our shows were not getting posted.
We're back now, and we really appreciate the great comments from you. It's nice to know that we were missed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Well, my project is very applied, so we're actually building a sensing platform for liquids, and we test it with sensing cocaine, like the drug cocaine, in saliva. So that's spit. So yeah, we're very applied, so that's really easy to explain, I guess.
Well, it's very easy for me to explain what I do. I'm a surgeon, and I focus on aesthetic and reconstructive surgery of the face. And obviously, optics and biophotonic devices figure heavily in the management of both acquired and congenital, as well as other abnormalities and disorders of the facial soft and hard tissues.